If we're being completely honest, the truth is, nobody deserves to win the Ballon d'Or this year. The Ballon d'Or, the award for the best player in the world, is like the Oscars of football. Heck, it's even bigger. Over the years, the best have won the award, from Ronaldo Nazario to Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, but this year, it doesn't feel like anyone deserves it. Why? Because it feels like everyone deserves. I'll get to the media favorites in a bit, but to show you how tight it is, these are the guys we're going with first. Nico Williams had an incredible 2023-24 season. His 14 assists in La Liga were the joint most in the league, and in Athletic Bilbao's run to the Copa del Rey final, Nico Williams played a key role in the team. He notched up 3 goals and 5 assists in 6 games, including an assist in the final to help Bilbao win the trophy, and when he put on that shirt for Spain at the Euros, he was electric. Scored the opening goal in the final versus England, Williams finished the season with 8 goals and 19 assists in 37 games. And while he isn't a household name like Kylian Mbappe or Erling Haaland, the Ballon d'Or now awards the best individual performance of the previous season, and Williams was exceptional in 2023-24, as did the Stockport Iniesta. Phil Foden, just like Inaki Williams, he took his game to another level last season. 28 goals and 12 assists in all competitions, 40 goal contributions, won the Club World Cup and UEFA Super Cup, and in the Premier League, Foden was instrumental in making sure City added a 4th consecutive Premier League title in May. Wow, Foden's form earned him the PFA Player of the Year award, joining an elite category of players to win both the PFA Young Player of the Year award and the PFA Player of the Year. So what's the downside to him winning it? Well, while he was in terrific form for Manchester City and for England at the Euros, Foden was off. He failed to have any impact in the games England played at the Euros. Might as well say the same about his teammate, the Norwegian goal-scoring machine. After the incredible start he had to life in Manchester, where he won the treble and was the top scorer for City in both the Champions League and the Premier League, Haaland failed to replicate that same level last season, but it still doesn't mean he had a bad campaign. Not at all. 45 goals and 6 assists in all competitions for City, won the Premier League and the Premier League Golden Boot for the 2nd year running, and won the UEFA Super Cup and the Club World Cup. What's stopping Haaland from winning the competition this year? He had some forgettable matches last season, and on the international scene, he and Norway failed to qualify for the Euros, and that's huge when it comes to these things. One striker who was at the Euros and did make the list is England's captain, Harry Kane. Kane's 2023-24 was a mixed bag, and on a personal level, he was elite. He scored 52 goals and 14 assists in all competitions last season, and even took him his first European Golden Shoe a few weeks back. But you see, that was as good as it got for Kane. The Ballon d'Or might just be too far out for Kane because when it comes to trophies, his luck was cursed again. For the first time in 11 years, Bayern failed to win the Bundesliga or any trophies, and despite finishing as the joint top scorer at the Euros with 3 goals, Kane lost the Euros final for the 2nd successive year, this time to Spain. Tough. On the winning side, though, was one of football's breakout stars who had a 2023-24 season to remember. Lamine Yamal, the football's next superstar, 10 goals and 18 assists in all competitions. He owned Barcelona's right wing, put in a lot of impressive performances over the season, and for Spain, he was a revelation. That goal against France was top tier, and in the final versus England, he got the assist for his buddy Nico Williams' opener. What's stopping the Lamine from taking home the award this year? Well, while 10 goals and 18 assists might be insane for a 17-year-old, it's not for the Ballon d'Or. Lamine's Barcelona team also failed to win any trophies too, and before anyone says anything about Ronaldo's 2012-13 season, where he won no trophies but still won the award, he had 60 plus goals that year, just saying. Lamine is the odds-on favorite to take home the Copa Award for the best young player of the year. He's got his age on his side too. This next Ballon d'Or contender doesn't though, the man is even retired. Toni Kroos. At the end of the 2023-24 season, Toni Kroos decided to call time in his career legend. Looking at it based on stats, Kroos shouldn't be anywhere near this one. He only managed 1 goal and 14 assists all campaign. But footballers of his category can be judged based on stats. It's much more than that. Kroos was the machine that kept the Real Madrid midfield running. He dictated the tempo of games, short passes, long passes, through balls, and he could just do everything. Unfortunately, Kroos just played in an era where Messi and Ronaldo's numbers were simply too hard to resist. Else, he could have been in the conversation even sooner. Now guys, it's time for the real deal. The guys who have proper shots at winning this year's award. But before we get into that, some of you watching this still haven't hit that subscribe button to Total Footy. It's staring at you in the face. Click it. The list gets tighter from here because these guys can stake a claim to deserving the Ballon d'Or this year, like Germany's rising talent. Florian Wirtz, Bayern Leverkusen did the unimaginable by winning the Bundesliga for the first time and going unbeaten domestically. They also won the DFB Pokal and got to the final of the Europa League. Key to all this is Florian Wirtz. Wirtz had an exceptional 2023-24 campaign. He scored 21 goals and 21 assists in all competitions, and for a player who was never really about goals to begin with, he more than took the game by storm. Wirtz also shone at the Euros too. He scored the opening goal of the competition, but unfortunately, Germany failed to make home advantage count and got knocked out by Spain in the quarterfinal stage. Still, Wirtz had an amazing year, same with Real Madrid's new number 9, Kylian Mbappe. Big money move to Real Madrid in the summer of 52 goals and 21 assists for PSG in France in 2023 and 24. He won Ligue 1 and the Ligue 1 Golden Boot, the Copa de France, and the Trophy des Champions. In the Champions League, Mbappe finished as the competition's joint top scorer with Harry Kane with 8 goals. Although, PSG sadly failed to make it to the final after losing to Borussia Dortmund in the semis. Mbappe in France at the Euros was a huge bust. A forgettable competition, but it's still hard to look away from what he achieved and the goals he scored. It's heating up now because the list is getting even more dicey, and this next contender has many believing he has an outside shot of making history. If anyone had told Dani Carvajal he'd be a strong contender for the Ballon d'Or or at the start of the last season, I don't think even Carvajal would have believed it. But it's the case now. He had a fantastic year for Real Madrid in Spain, and he's a right back. Carvajal notched up 7 goals and 8 assists in all competitions last campaign, including the opener in the Champions League final. He was also on target for Spain at the Euros, and when you consider that he was part of a Real Madrid defense that kept 21 clean sheets in all competitions last season, won the Champions League, La Liga, Supercopa de España, and the Euros, Carvajal might just be on the podium at the end of the year. At least that's what Joselu thinks. A fairy tale run on the cards. It just might happen. If not for Carvajal, then maybe for this next guy. Lautaro Martinez has done an excellent job at shutting up his critics, and is now in with a shout at winning football's ultimate prize. Lautaro Martinez went about his business quietly, Inter won Serie A, and he captained his side to the title as well as winning the Golden Boot award. Martinez notched up 35 goals and 8 assists in all competitions, and in the Copa America, his 5 goals was the highest scored by a single player in the competition, including scoring the winning goal in the final. For a player who was taking so much criticism in Argentina's 2022 World Cup win, this is redemption. Martinez faces stiff competition for the award though, especially from Madrid. EAFC's new cover star might just have an even better shot at winning it. Honestly, there was a point in mid-October when Jude Bellingham was the best player in the world, no doubts. While his late season form might have tailed off, Bellingham still managed 27 goals and 17 assists in all competitions. He wasn't just scoring goals, it was the way he scored them and the timing. A clutch winner for Union Berlin in the added time in the Champions League, a brace versus Barcelona in El Clasico to turn around a 1-0 deficit and help Madrid win 2-1. And at the Euros, he rescued England at the dearth with this. Bellingham's trophy haul in his first season at Madrid is more than impressive. The Champions League, La Liga, the Supercopa de España, and he was a runner-up for England at the Euros. It'll be something to see a midfielder pick up the award, if not Bellingham, possibly another favorite the Spanish are pretty familiar with. Rodri, without doubt, the best holding midfielder in the world. Before the FA Cup final defeat to Manchester United, Rodri had gone a full year without losing a game for Manchester City. That's how important he is to the City team. Rodri also developed a knack for scoring key goals in key matches for City, a goal in the final day of the season to seal the title. The season before, he scored the only goal in the Champions League final. Rodri ended the season with 12 goals and 15 assists in all competitions and won the Euros, the Premier League, UEFA Super Cup, and Club World Cup. A very strong contender for the award, but the same can be said about this next man. Vinicius Junior's performances have led many people to believe this is his era now. 24 goals and 11 assists for Real Madrid, 26 goals and 12 assists in all competitions, the top scorer for Madrid and in the Champions League final, scored the goal to clinch it. Goals against Barcelona in El Clasico, performances in big games despite having a disappointing summer with Brazil at the 2024 Copa America. Vinicius Jr. is still the leading candidate to win the award, but does he really deserve it? Every name we've mentioned so far has a shout, and rightfully so, and that's why no one deserves it. See, football witnessed a 10 to 15 year period where two guys absolutely dominated the game. Messi and Ronaldo. They combined goal scoring with superb performances and winning trophies, and the truth is, football hasn't recovered from that. Take for instance, Neymar's 2014-15 campaign. The guy hit 39 goals in all competitions, 13 more than Vinicius Jr. did from this season. Scored in the Champions League final, was joint top scorer in the competition, and still finished third behind Ronaldo and Messi. Could go as far back as 2011. Xavi and Iniesta were the two best midfielders in the world, similar performances to Rodri, possibly even better, but in the end, Messi stole the show. It will be interesting to see who ends up with the award this year, but as it is, there's no outright favorite to win it because everyone deserves it. You enjoyed this video? Yeah? You did? Hit that subscribe button to Total Footy for even more content.